bullet points here, like why is it important now, and what does poor outcomes look like? But what's the value of having stuff like what's an example of this going well?
Look, the main thing is because we all know if we've all got our business, we all know that we can only be, it's hard enough to build up wealth. But, it's funny, and you're probably seeing the same thing when, you get the tax office sends a huge assessment claim, or, they send a subpoena to your client. Your clients just aren't used to dealing with that. And then as soon as you get that, that'll freak them out. It'll freak most people out. And so then if you're not aware of the litigation process, if you've got that, you could be up for like 2 or 3 years dealing with the tax office, which, believe it or not, is a good thing if we structure it properly. But at the end of the day, just the stress involved in that whole process and knowing that there's litigation there, the same thing is that everyone who's watching this, you've done your wills, but your wills can be completely useless. You might as well just go and throw them out, because all they are is really just an idea of wishes if your will's contested. So they're really of no value, because remember the executor can only deal with what they've got. And if it's all gone on legal fees, there's not much there. So I find that it goes beyond that. So I've talked about the negative side, but I'm finding that for most people, they really want to ensure that their family wealth is left for their bloodline and their bloodline only. They don't want it to go to the de facto that one of the children's been, hunched up with for, 18 months or something. They don't want it to go to the stepchildren. They want to make sure it goes to their bloodline and their bloodline only, which is it's a common desire, I would find, out of 99% of people. No one says, oh, look, I don't care. Yeah, they might do it flippantly, but when you go down the track and start to ask questions, well, so that means you want it all to go to charity. We want it all to go to the legal profession, so to lawyers. As soon as you start doing that, then it's a completely different place in mind. But if you get it right and you get the strategy right, then it takes a huge weight off your shoulders as well. And you really need to have a good combination. What I like to see is a good combination of a family protection trust, which I'll talk about a little bit later on, a really good family SMSF as well. And that's mainly for tax reasons. We can set up I can set up an SMSF, and Ben can too, and really reduce, taxation by a huge amount. And it's also fantastic for asset protection. You've got money in an SMSF, and your trustee in bankruptcy, your creditors can't touch it at all. So it's actually enshrined within the Bankruptcy Act. So you can't get any better asset protection than that compared to normal trusts. And if you've got, for example, a trading company, what the best thing to do is have that trading company being clean and having the assets sitting over a separate company, which is just like a service company. The shares are owned by a family protection trust, obviously, and then there's obviously a licensing or lease arrangement between the new company or your protected family company versus your business. So if they come knocking, come attacking, you just want to make sure that they open the door and it's like, oh, there's nothing there. Because if there's nothing there, what are they going to do? So that they might make you bankrupt. But again, if you've got that good line of succession, you're protected. And that's the problem. See, so many people just don't have anything, and they lose their homes, they lose everything. And it's depending on your age, it can be very hard to get back.
Absolutely.